Hi, thank you for joining me. You're greatly appreciated. Please hit those thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. Totally free for you and so greatly appreciated by me. Thank you all to all the subscribers. I want to thank you so very much. You're greatly appreciated. Okay, this message is you are not crazy. You are going through a spiritual awakening. You are not crazy. You are going through a spiritual awakening. Some of you people may be telling you that you're crazy, that you may be going through a midlife crisis. Some of you may think this for yourself. You may be thinking, man, am I losing my mind? Am I going through a midlife crisis? Some of you may not even be in your midlife age to go into the crisis, but you may be thinking you're going through some type of crisis. You are not crazy. You're going through a spiritual awakening. So during the process of a spiritual awakening, you go through a lot of things that make you question reality. Some of you may be seeing, the veil being broken. You may be questioning, is this real? Is this really happening? Did I see this or did I hear this? Things of this nature. And so during the spiritual awakening process, it can be very confusing at times because you don't understand what's really happening to you. Some of you may notice like there's things that you used to love to eat and you just can't eat it anymore. Like it can literally make you sick. You may get nauseous or headaches, things of this nature when you eat certain foods. When you're doing certain activities, some of you may notice things like, say you drink alcohol, pretty often, quite often. And you may notice that like you're not able to drink alcohol as much. You may notice that you may notice that you're getting more sick. The more you drink it, the hangovers are worse. For some that like a lot of sugar products, like you may notice that you have to just cut back on that sugar because it affects you differently. It may give you like the jitters or shakes. You just notice that your body's not responding to it as well. Another example is like people who love coffee. You may just notice that like the coffee, you just can't handle it as much. It may be too strong for you or give you symptoms of this nature, headaches, and you just may not feel as well after you drink it, things of like this nature. There may be shows that you used to love to watch, like you used to be there, say it was a show that started at Wednesday at 7 p.m. You were there at that time. You had your TV on, your snacks and stuff ready to go for your show, right? And now you don't even enjoy these shows due to some of the nature. Maybe they're too much violence on some of these shows, or maybe the language is too vulgar for you now. Maybe it's the content on it is just too, maybe it has too much sexual content on it, and you just notice now that you're noticing these things more. Maybe before you didn't even notice some of these things when you watched the show, or they didn't affect you as much when you watched the show. So these are just some signs and symptoms that could be happening to you through the process. Things that you used to love and enjoy, you just don't really love and enjoy as much as you used to. You may notice that when you are around certain people now, you just get these like weird energy and vibes from these people. And you may notice that you want to kind of be on your own more. You may want to be spending more time alone, You may be wanting to work on certain things within yourself more. You may be getting like convicted to change certain things, stop going to certain places. You may be feeling like stop hanging around certain individuals or certain environments. You may be avoiding some of these places. You may notice yourself avoiding some of these people and places and things that you used to do, or places that you used to go, or people that you used to hang around with. And you just may be noticing that there's this type of change in you of things that you used to love and enjoy and do in your day-to-day, everyday life that you just don't want to entertain anymore. You know, they just don't fuel you like they used to anymore. But don't think you're losing your mind. Don't think you're going crazy. You're just going through a spiritual awakening, and you're evolving and you're growing, and it's going to help you to raise your vibrations, raise, you know, the vibration, and help your manifestations come in quicker. And so you may just notice some of these things that you used to do, or, you know, you may notice that, like, you may not be cussing as much. You know, you may have, you know, maybe not had too bad of a mouth, but you may have had a potty mouth, you know, and you may notice that you just don't want to use foul language as much anymore, or be around people who use foul language as much anymore. And you may be noticing that you're changing that. And so shows that have this content or language in it, they just affect you differently, and you just don't enjoy those type of shows as much as you used to. You know, even like soda, you may notice like soda, it may just be too sweet to you if you try to drink a lot of it, or it just may not taste the same. Things, you know, foods that you used to like and love, that you just notice that you don't enjoy them as much anymore, and they just don't taste the same for you anymore. You may be transitioning to focusing on eating healthier foods, and focusing on foods that like fuel your body and are good for your health, and give you energy and things of this nature. You may be noticing yourself wanting to do more things out in nature, you know, just bird watching for some of you, walks in the park, you know, going to the zoo, riding your bikes, things of this such, hiking, you know, going in the mountains. Some of you may be drawn to want to go near the water. I know I have been wanting to go near the water. Some of you may be drawn to want to go near the water, you know, lakes, rivers, beaches. Please be safe, though. Please be safe, okay? Life jackets, you know, and things of this nature to be safe, okay? But you may notice that you just are drawn to more of nature, and you want to be close to the water, or just doing things to take better care of yourself. And you know, you may be more focused on things of this nature and taking care of your health and such more than you used to. So you're not crazy. You're just going through a spiritual awakening. And these are just some of the signs and symptoms that you may be affected by, or you may be noticing, you know, that you're just changing. You may be changing your environments, even of where you live. For some of you, you know, you just may have loved where you lived, and all of a sudden you just feel this urgency for a change, you know. Maybe you're just wanting some type of change. And, you know, for some, you may have loved the city life and the noise and the hustle and bustle. And now some of you are wanting to scale down and maybe have a more suburban or even country life that you start to lead. And so these are just some of the signs and symptoms that you are maybe going through when you start to have your spiritual awakening. You may be wanting to drink more water, you know, versus soda and juices that have high sugar content. You may be paying attention to these things more, you know. You may have never looked on the back of the label of some of the foods or drinks that you're ingesting in your body. And all of a sudden you just feel led to notice how much sugar content is in what you're ingesting in your body. And you may notice things like this. You may be wanting to pay more attention to the labels due to various reasons, not just sugar, but sugar being one of them, just as an example. But you may be just curious about what you're putting into your body, and paying attention more to these things, trying to eat more healthy or fresh foods, not so much processed foods, not eating out as much. You may go to your favorite fast food restaurant or establishment, and you may notice that doesn't do it for you anymore like it used to. You may have eaten at this place on a weekly, sometimes for some even a daily basis, and you may all of a sudden notice now that it's just not doing it for you anymore, you know? So these are just some examples of signs and symptoms that you may be going through during your spiritual awakening. You know, you may, of course, see a lot of people drop off in your life, and you'll definitely see other signs and symptoms in the sense of things just being removed out of your life. Things are just being removed out of your life. People, places, things, jobs. You may be encouraged to just move from where you live and to another location, or you may be encouraged to move to a whole nother city, to a whole nother state, you know. So these are just some of the symptoms and signs that you're not going crazy, you're just going through a spiritual awakening. And just enjoy the process the best you can and kind of go with the flow. Stay in prayer, and God will guide you the whole way. You will be okay. It's easier for some than others. I know change is hard for a lot of us, but you know, change is necessary for growth, and you're just really growing and evolving as a person, and you're going to go through these things and kind of shed skin like a snake. And you know, like how they say caterpillars, how they are, and then it forms into that beautiful butterfly when it comes out of that cocoon, and that's going to be you. And it's just a process, so just be patient with the process and be patient with yourself and stay the course. And it's easier said than done, but let these things go and let these things kind of like fall away or fall apart around you. Just focus on controlling what you can control and give God the rest of the control of everything else the best you can, because it'll make the process a little bit easier as you go along. The more we fight it, the harder we make the process for us as we go along. So it's just a lot easier if we can do our best to try to just control and handle what we can, the little things, and handle what we can control, and let God control the rest, okay? And just stay in prayer, and please keep reading your Bible, and God will guide your footsteps through the process. And I just want to thank you all for joining me, and I just wanted to come on here and encourage those that may be thinking that they are losing their ever-loving mind, that they are going through some type of midlife crisis. Some people may even think I need to get checked in somewhere, and it doesn't hurt to get therapy. It always helps to talk to someone. Of course, if you feel led to get therapy, please do, but just know that you are not losing your ever-loving mind. You are not going crazy. You are just going through a spiritual awakening. So again, thank you for joining me. You are also greatly appreciated. Prayers and blessings to all. Bye.